Just welcoming the officials out on the court right now. Players will follow very shortly afterwards. Like all the ladies here from China, as we mentioned in the singles category, under pressure to deliver. Wang Xin is, of course, the silver medalist in the Asian Games World Championships in 2010. 7 Super Series titles. Had a great run in the autumn of 2011. However, since then, not quite been as stellar. Only one final this year. But what a lovely platform for her to perform on now, because her teammates have shown the way. They've been pretty comprehensive. I mean, Wang Wuhan, I'm sure, I know you were watching that game against Ratchanok as well. I mean, she played really well against a very classy young lady. And then the women's doubles pair also just turned on the start.
Yeah, there's no doubt to me that the Chinese women, they have geared up today. They knew yesterday's match against Germany was fairly easy. So they prepared in a totally different way for tonight's match. And I don't really see the possibilities for the young Buranaprasertsuk. I think Wang Xin has all the confidence she needs. She's been playing well. She's been selected when it matters. And she knows that China is not going to lose this match. No way on earth they are going to lose the last 3 matches. So I think she is going to come out firing.
Well, the atmosphere is absolutely fabulous, isn't it? As you say, Porntip not successful in all her games this week in the Uber Cup. Wang Xin is hoping this is going to be the point that takes China into that final against Korea. I mean, if there wasn't enough of an incentive that, of course, they want to win the Uber Cup, China, of course they want it back, but knowing Korea are there waiting in the final just adds even greater incentive.
Yeah, I think they sort of cheered for Korea to reach that final. They wanted to meet them. They wanted to meet them on home ground, with home advantage, with all their fans supporting them.
Well, this is what she's managed so far. She's only been on court 48 minutes in her 2 matches. She was the most impressive of the Chinese ladies yesterday, wasn't she, against Germany in that win over Cara Labot?
Yeah, definitely. There was just very, very quick on court, not leaving any chance. The German girls put up a brilliant fight yesterday, but in the second ladies singles, there was absolutely no chance for her opponent, Carola Butt.
Saw the stats there of Porntip. She was 14th in the world rankings when she went into the final ranking event for the Olympics, the Indian Open, and she lost to Ai Goto in the first round. Huge disappointment for her.
Yeah.
Drops out to 17.
And that's a player that she's beaten before, and I'm almost positive that this pressure of qualifying for the Olympics has been too much for her.
As you see, she lost to Pai Siama yesterday and took 3 games to beat Karina Jorgensen as well.
Yeah, and so she got a victory there, but you could have expected perhaps a bigger victory, because Karina is quite unexperienced at this stage. So
she's a young girl, though. I mean, you know, let's be fair. I think she's still in her teenage years, isn't she?
I believe she's just turned 20.
Right.
But still fairly young. But and we must also recognize that there's big competition within the Thailand team, because they have a lot of strong young players coming up.
Well, she's the only Thai player to have won a Super Series event. She was first there.
Which one was that?
She won the India Open last year.
Okay.
Everyone expected.
Yes, she had a lot of points to defend and failed to do that.
Yeah. That's why she dropped out of
the top 16.
Huge disappointment.
Yeah, and her opponent ended up getting, when I say her opponent, the one that got into the top 16 was Wang of Singapore, and she got in because Ratchanok, who was one game up and 18-10 up in the second game, got a recurrence of a foot injury and had to walk off retired, hurt in the third game.
So she needed just 3 points, and then Porntip would have qualified for the Olympics.
Yeah. She did play on for a bit, lost that second game, and then had to put out third rather than aggravate the injury. So China, 1 point away from the final of the Yuba Cup, and 1 point up in what could be proved to be the decisive third match here. It's difficult to make comparisons, isn't it? But you can tell, watching Porntip and having watched Ratchanok, who's the natural talent. But it's not always just about natural talent, is it?
No, definitely not. I think we could learn a lot from that, especially a lot of the European countries where we have a tendency to choose the talent that is possible to tell by looking at the players, the soft movements, the nice technique, but one must not underestimate the ability to learn, the ability to work hard and plan. And we can see that with a lot of players coming through in Asia. A lot of the Koreans, when they start out on the circuit, doesn't seem that strong, but they put on bits and pieces every time they show up for a new tournament. They've learned something new.
The only thing I would say, though, if you can mix the mental toughness, the ability to learn with that natural talent, then you've got a world beater.
Precisely.
2-4.
And if Porntip should be able to produce a good match today, it might be down to the fact that all the pressure's gone now. Nobody expecting her to win this match. She's lost on a number of occasions to Wang Xin, and she's played poorly, been struggling in this tournament, and didn't qualify for the Olympics. So she must in some way feel a little bit relieved, and I think she's playing better today than she did yesterday against Jorgensen.
She's up against the tough cookie at the other end of the court, Wang Xin, finishing off that fine rally. Yeah, they have met 3 times before, as you saw there. The last was at the Asian Badminton Championship. You saw that before the match. 21-11, 21-9. It was very impressive. In fact, they met 3 times, and the first time actually Porntip won the first game when they first met. But since then, Wang Xin has taken every game very comfortably. In fact, when she went a game down, she won the next 2 21-4, 21-7 in their first meeting. Right idea. Execution just lacking.
I haven't got the stats for Wang Xin, but I remembered last year in 2011 I took a look at her tournament stats, and it was very, very few matches that she lost to non-Chinese players.
Good judgment. Well, she hasn't got to worry about that this week, has she?
No. it's really hard to spot an area where Porntip is better than Wang Xin.
9-3.
Well, she's just lost 5 points in a row to her. Now, I'm not privy to team talks, obviously, and I'm only second guessing, but the fact that Korea went through the team talk today would have been, you know, let's try and make a statement here. You know, they might look at us and think, you know, a bit sloppy against Indonesia, a bit sloppy against Germany. Let's show them we're ready for them.
Good shot there.
5-9.
Yeah, and it's also about building up team confidence, that the team feels that they are where they should be. They've been practicing right, peaking at the right moment.
Yeah, there's no point being great in the group matches and in the quarter-final if you can't peak for the final. You see that in all sports, you know. Think of the World Cups that Italy have won, where they've looked miserable in group matches, but they got the job done in various years. And there's this feeling that this is the one that's hurt most for Chinese badminton. Kuala Lumpur in 2010. It's important for them, isn't it, in terms of what's coming up, the Olympics, that they have the Uber Cup back.
Yeah, they definitely want to go into the Olympics being the world champions.
Service over. 7-10.
Well, sticking with her task here, isn't she, Porntip? Trying to stay with Wang Xin, who's had this excellent start. At the interval, it's a 4-point lead. Got to be careful she doesn't lose that pass. They won't let her in the building for the final.
Yeah.
She looked very much an athlete in control of things, didn't she, in that opening part of the first game?
That was my impression, at least. I'm also quite sure that we're right about this, that Porntip plays more freely, because even you could say that there was this pressure that Thailand is going to lose if she loses this match. I don't think it comes as a surprise to the Thailand team, so I think she's just going to go in and give it a shot, and has played much better than yesterday.
Wait, please.
Wang Xin very eager
11-7
to finish this match.
Let's get on with it, yeah.
Good shot.
Service over. 8-12.
she's built up to that by having a couple of really good smashes down the line. Jump smashes.
Nine, 12.
Well, she's only made it past the first round in one event in 2012, Porntip.
Serve is
It was
over.
at the Australian Open Grand Prix Gold when she won 2 matches.
13, 9.
All the Thai players, it's not just in badminton, they all have nicknames. Hers is Peace, but I should think she's been feeling too much at peace with the way she's been playing this year and what it's meant. It's meant her Olympic dream for this year has disappeared. Jill was suggesting, you know, the number of events can't have all the travelling, you know, playing 20 plus events in a year. It's not a case of picking and choosing, it's let's go for it every week almost that's available.
Yeah, and it's so easy to choose that way to try and qualify, just play all the time, but perhaps it's not the best way, because it does wear you down to travel so much and
Especially you're not playing well or as well as you can.
13.
I mean, she's making a fight of it here, isn't she?
it's almost like it's a totally different player from the one I watched yesterday. The match wasn't played on the TV court, but I just had an eye on it anyway.
Serve is over.
Well, they were playing.
14, 11.
You talking about the Denmark game?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we can't blame you for keeping an eye on how your own nation were faring. They were upset, weren't they, though, to lose out?
Yeah, they were a little bit disappointed. They were quite close in the ladies singles where Jorgensen played Porntip, but didn't perform well enough to get the decisive points.
Serve is over. 12, 14.
And she shows here, Porntip, she shows some of the skills that has gotten her to the number 14 in the first place.
Thirteen, 14.
I'm not sure this is what Wang Xin had expected.
I don't think it's what any of us really, to be fair, expected. As we say, we know she's a fine talent. And you don't win a Super Series event for nothing, but looking at her 2012 record, looking how she struggled here,
14,
looking at the calibre of player she's up against, she's now at 14-all.
But she succeeded in taking the control of the match and sort of directing how it should be played. Attacking a lot.
15, 14.
I've seen trying to give her the run around, but she's got herself very much back in this point. Oh, that's brilliant.
Great disguise there. Reverse slice from Wang Xin.
15, 14.
And you can see Porntip's body is going in another direction for a split second before discovering that shuttle is in a totally different position.
Thank you.
Zhang Ning,
16-14.
women's singles coach.
Mini crisis over.
Yeah.
You always need a touch of luck, don't you? Well done.
Service over. 15-17.
Enjoy that one. A lot of angles right.
18-15.
There's no stopping that one.
Well, from where I was sitting, it looked a little bit questionable, that call, but no one really complained.
I don't think the majority of the crowd are going to complain about that, are they really? But no, I think it was in.
Service over.
Change of luck here.
16-18.
This time, Porntip was the one just hitting the tape. Great pictures here.
Service over. 19-16.
Just to remind you the match situation, it's China 2, Thailand 0, and Wang Xin this time is 2 points away from taking the opening game. Make that game points.
20, game point, 16.
I really like that smash cross court, especially from left-handers. It's very, very hard to cover for right-handed players. Sayaka Sato, whom we saw this afternoon, also had a couple of good smashes.
Service over.
Set up exactly the same way.
17-20.
They're nearly there. They're nearly there. She played some fabulous points there, Wang Xin, didn't she? She was suddenly found herself a point down in that game after looking totally in control, and then she just blew Porntip away over the closing stages.
You can see that's a little too short. Wang Xin's feet doesn't even touch the double service line, and then you're going to get punished.
Well, fair to say, Porntip, Buranaprasertsuk is going to struggle now to keep alive Thailand's hopes. fact, she's had more winners than her opponent in that first game. Well, they're nearly there, aren't they? Within touching distance of the 2012
Second game.
BWF Uber Cup final. One game is all it'll take. That's if Wang Xin can win it. Well, first of all, two brilliant reaches to deny Porntip the point, and then the luck. Dangled for a while.
Yeah.
Well, that might have been going out.
And that's a great shot from Wang Xin here. Instead of using this cross-court smash that I like so much, this time she hit the straight one, and that means that she'll keep her opponent guessing, varying her attack excellently from the backhand corner.
Well, the nod of approval. It's been a brilliant start to this second game for Wang Xin, and well, thoughts already must start turning from some of her teammates, at least, of what is coming. She's putting on an exhibition now. China have never failed to appear in a Uber Cup final. This is their 15th Uber Cup since coming into the competition. 11 wins, 3 runners-up. They'd won 5 in a row before arriving in Kuala Lumpur a couple of years ago. 6-0 now.
It's a very good call by Wang Xin there.
6-love it is then.
Just inches long.
Been giving a lesson now, isn't she, Porntip?
Yeah, and she read that shot from Porntip there. She was so high on it. Really takes the shuttle very, very early.
Well, she's the elder statesman, isn't she, of these Chinese women? .26 now. Wang Xin. She's only been around 3 years or so on the international circuit. When she first was called up, she suffered an injury, told to go back and play for the provincial side, and She did that, put her head down, came back, proved that she deserved to be here. And I think she's showing that and some right now in this semi-final. It's a massive lead now.
I can see that one of the Thailand girls playing the second ladies double. She's coming back into the hall now.
You can't blame her, can you, really?
No point in warming any more up, because there's not going to be a second ladies double in this game.
Yeah, the expression we're using, not over until the fat ladies sings. Well, she's cleared her throat, and first note's about to be coming out of her mouth. Well, it's not the perfect first part of the game for Wang Xin.
1-10.
You've got a feel for her, haven't you? She, trying her hard out there. She's only
And
got
the whole team is laughing at her.
Yeah. Thankfully she can see that. Deep breaths, come on. Comprehensive, 11-1. Well, they've been on court just 26 minutes. 3's the magic number.
11-1, play.
And it could be just around the corner.
Yeah, Jiang Ning was talking a lot during the interval, so it doesn't look like she's sort of taking her foot off the pedal.
12-1.
She was obviously very annoyed she lost that point.
Yeah. It's just full speed.
She's playing with great confidence. Look at this.
Fantastic shots.
Oh, that's it. Magnificent. Such control.
I can see Porntip smiling, even though she might not have such a good time on court, but for us watching, it's enjoyable seeing such a world-class player perform. Wang Xin at her best.
Serves over.
Well, she left that, but it was in.
2-13.
I suppose the one decision that the young Bo and the coaching staff have to make is, picking the team for the final now and who to leave out. And of course, Li Shuari is not going to play tonight, but she was down to play as the third women's singles. Wang Xijian has played this week, but been left out of the last two matches. You can't, the way that Wang Xin's played here and the way Wang Yihan's played tonight, you can't see them being left out at all, can you?
But I've seen some discussion forums on the internet suggesting that head coach Li Yongbo is quite famous for choosing based on head-to-head records and recent performances and so on. So we'll have to check up on head-to-head Wang Jihan versus Sung Ji-hyun. If that's not clearly in favor of Wang Jihan, but Wang Xin has a better record, then she might get dropped, even though she's #1 in the world ranking. And
China want redemption, so does she. She obviously lost that first singles match 2 years ago.
62.
But then again, if you want to win and win at the Olympics, then this is a good time to show character that that you're able to deal with pressure. And I would think that the Chinese team would feel so confident that that we'll see Wang Jihan playing the first singles tomorrow again.
Yeah. Big surprise if she wasn't in that team really on Saturday.
I think this is the lineup that they're playing. This is their best team, so I believe that's what we're going to see. Not tomorrow, as I said, because the final is on
semi-final tomorrow.
On Saturday. Yeah.
Thomas Cup semis coming up tomorrow.
It's brilliant. Another smash straight down the line.
Two points to go. Make that one. It's match point all round.
20, match point 2.
Dared you believe they wouldn't be there? Well, an extremely accomplished performance, not just from Wang Xin, but from all the Chinese players on court tonight. If they have been a little scrappy, a little indifferent, a little inconsistent at times this week, well, they were on the money tonight. They have beaten Thailand 3-0. Just over half an hour for Wang Xin to complete the victory there, 21-17, 21-2. And they've got the final they wanted here. Revenge will be on their mind. Kuala Lumpur 2010 will very much be in their thoughts, because China will play Korea in the 2012 BWF Uber Cup final on Saturday afternoon. And it's a mouth-watering prospect, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I've been thinking a little bit more about this First Ladies singles, and I'm really looking forward to see the lineups, because it is so important how you start a tie, and falling behind could mean that nervousness creeps in on the other Chinese players. So
yeah, as it did 2 years ago.
Exactly. So I'm really excited to see that lineup.
Well, we have to wait until I think Saturday morning. It might actually be released Friday night. But definitely on Saturday morning we'll know. 2 o'clock local time is when the final will start. Was a brilliant performance from Wang Xin. Poor old Porntip there, just blown away. So confirmation they didn't drop a game. 3-0 to China over Thailand. Ishiru and Zhao Tian not able to get out on court. I think they'll be more than happy that that's the case, because their teammates showed some fabulous form there.
That's also something to be thought of until Saturday, because it's a couple of days since the second ladies doubles and third ladies singles has played a match for China.
Of course, Korea went all the way in their quarter-final. They didn't have to go all the way this afternoon, did they? They beat Japan 3-0. Of course, China, similar, well, exactly the same scoreline against Thailand. So there's your confirmation of the final. China against Korea. All smiles at the start and all smiles at the end as well. Wonderful performance from Wang Yihan, and also you have to say from Ratchanok Intanon as well. She really did contribute to a wonderful opening women's singles match. What a prospect she is at just 17 years of age. But the world number one saw her off, in the world number one women's doubles pair of Yang and Wang Xiaoli also came through pretty comfortably as well. There was a moment in that second game when the ties went 6-1 up, and you thought maybe, but well, that was quickly dispelled. That put China 2 up, and then of course Wang Xin, as we know, 21-2 in that final game, disposed of Porntip. It's going to be a cracking final ahead, isn't it? That's a lot to look forward to over the next few days here in the Wuhan Sports Arena. And of course, before then, we've got tomorrow's semi-finals. Tomorrow afternoon, Denmark against Korea, and then the host nations up against Japan. China against Japan. That starts at 7 o'clock local time. So there you go. The Uber Cup final is between Korea and China. From Steen, from myself, Richard, and from Jill Clark, we look forward to bringing you all of that. Just confirmation of the lineups here for the semi-finals of the BWF Thomas Cup.